playoffs.
Well, I'll tell you what, they finally put it all together last week, probably their best defensive effort of the season. But remember, this is a team that has really, they struggled a bit. They played a really daunting and a gauntlet of a schedule, and they just have to get in the playoffs. They have to win tonight to get that pot of gold.
The Elsinore Tigers. They have a new coach, Randy Kirschman. New coach, who this? Randy Kirschman in his first year taking over from Tony Peralta, who was at the helm for 22 years prior to that. But the one thing that won't change for Elsinore, Jeff, is that signature offensive scheme. They run that wing T running attack on offense.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're a basketball fan, it's like the Princeton offense. Defensively, you're going to have to be on your toes. You have to be disciplined because that could cause some problems.
Winner tonight, definitely in the driver's seat in terms of that third playoff berth out of the Ivy League, that automatic qualifier. It's the Huskies and the Tigers coming up next. The CIF on Riverside TV.
Third in Chicago as the strains of Poet Laureate Andre Young fill the doghouse here. Ghazal Hassan and Jeff Gorham back with you. You know, they released a list today of the top 100 pop songs of all time according to Billboard magazine.
Yes.
And I believe California Love was in the top 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was number one? Do you remember?
Some Whitney Houston song.
Oh, of course. It's always Whitney.
In any event, speaking of Whitney Houston, the Huskies will receive here against Elsinore. Lining up to kick off for Elsinore is Kalui Costa, the senior. He is Brazilian. He's also a defensive lineman. Boucher back deep, along with Carson Branch. And here's Branch from the 7. Right up the middle, breaks one tackle, and then down he goes. First man to him for Elsinore was Cruz Podsiadli. And Branch brings the ball out over the 25 to the 26-yard line, so a 19-yard return, 1st and 10. And you said it in the open, Jeff, this really is a playoff game. The playoffs begin today for both these teams.
Yeah, I mean, this is all the marbles. You know, you look at the records of both these teams and you say, how can they make the playoffs? They both played really tough preseason schedules, but this comes down to you have two teams above them. This is for third place. This is for that automatic qualifier. This is everything on the line tonight.
Shannon moves out. They're going to do direct snap here to Bronson Hogue, and flags and whistles. And we talked about it in the open, how I think it's going to come down to discipline, Jeff, today.
And that's kind of been the problem we've seen with this North team early on is the discipline issues that they had. A lot of penalties, as we see just now, the first one called. They have to be on top of their game tonight because Elsinore's not going to give it away because, like you said, they run a wishbone, and or the wing tee, I should say. And I'll tell you what, they're going to have problems if they can't be disciplined.
Little razzle-dazzle ball on the turf, and that's Cameron Shannon falls on it, so another loss. That's a big loss back to the 10-yard line. So the Huskies working backwards. Maybe some early jitters here. It is senior night here tonight, and trying a little bit of the razzle-dazzle, and the ball slips out of Shannon's hands, and he dives on it. And, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Opie Vaipulu has a game plan. Sometimes when you go away from players doing what they're used to doing, it's a little bit difficult, particularly when you come out, ball all the way back to the 10, 2nd and 26.
And, Cameron Shannon is one of those guys. He's a playmaker, and those guys can carry you sometimes. I'd love to see him carry this ball club tonight and see if they can get in the playoffs.
Branch trying to find the edge. Turns the corner, and he's pushed out of bounds. Making the play is Julian Santoyo for Elsinore. He escorts him out of bounds, gets over the 10 to about the 13-yard line. So 3 yards on the end around for Carson Branch. Another look at it. Running over the right side of that line, Francisco Flores and Mike Serrano out there. There's Santoyo pushing him out. 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up.
And talking more about, Cameron Shannon, he's, you look at all the great quarterbacks we've had in the area, and those guys can get you a couple wins regardless of anything just because he's such a good athlete. Love to see him get going here early.
Tyleek Barra split out to the near side, trips to the near side of the formation. Third down, looking right at Boucher. Makes the catch at the 25, makes a move up near a first down. He'll be close. Check that. That's Branch making the catch. They'll call him down at the 33-yard line. So a 17-yard pickup. They needed 20.
But watch, Shannon gets rid of the ball so quickly. We've talked about that all season long. 2 steps back. If you have somebody open, get rid of it.
Caden Maxfield with the tackle for Elsinore, and the punt team comes on for JW North. This is Fernando Zavala, the senior. There are 2 Zavalas, as we learned last time North played. And now Anthony Zavala, he's going to switch places with Fernando, and he's going to take the direct snap and try to get the first down. He will not get it. Filling and making the play, Joey Garcia got help from Jaden Harrell. Ball over on downs, so an early risk taken by O.P. Vaipulu. Kevin Kiker is offensive coordinator. Ball over on downs to Elsinore.
And Elsinore now with a good shot here. I mean, they do have a serviceable kicker. This could be problems here early to start this ball game for North.
Now that wing T, run-heavy offense, but talking before the game with Coach Randy Kirschman, he said, we want to evolve a little bit. We're going to play out of the shotgun. And flags and whistles.
So another penalty here on
already
on
2
North.
on North. A 5-yarder marched off against the Huskies. The ball moves to the 28-yard line of North. So a short field for the Tigers. Here's the throw. It's complete to the 30. 2-yard loss, making the play for the Huskies from linebacker Mitch Afungia. The ball complete from Robbie Whitlock.
Yeah, Afungia here jumps the route, really gets there quickly.
Isaac Sepulveda makes the catch and the loss back. A little bit like Ken Batdorf, right? They're predominantly a run team. They run about 70% of the time. But Coach Kirschman trying to work a little extra wrinkle into it. Second down. Here's Santoya with the run dancing to the left side. Working his way up, picking his way over the 25, inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line. So pretty close. I think he's got the first down.
Yeah, a good run there. I mean, ran right behind his offensive lineman. It's exactly what you're supposed to do. You got to play off those big boys up front.
Well, they're going to mark it just short, so it'll be 3rd and 1 coming up here.
Watch, he gets right after it, right behind the 3 big guys up front, 75, 50, and 24.
Yeah, Hebert and Espinoza pulling. And what you got to know about the wing T is the offensive line a little bit undersized, but they need to be quick and they need to move. A lot of pulling, a lot of movement on the offensive line as well. They may even run some unbalanced. Here's the toss again to Santoya. He'll have the first down to the 20-yard line. Still on his feet, some jawing there. Mackay Hill with the tackle for J-Dub, and moving the sticks are the Tigers of Elsinore.
Yeah, they're definitely in field goal range. I was watching the Brazilian before the game. He was kicking some bombs. He was kicking some Brazil nuts.
First down and 10 from the 21 for Elsinore.
Do you like a good Brazil nut?
I'm a big fan of Brazilian barbecue, if you want, if you must know. Play action. Here's the pass intended for the tight end. Incomplete. On the coverage is Mackay Hill for J-Dub. Nicholas Gonzalez, the intended receiver. Second down coming up. So twice they've gone to the air, Jeff.
They tried to just get it over the top, but great athletic ability there from Hill.
And remember, the Huskies a little bit undermanned. Jordan Nance, one of their starting cornerbacks unavailable today. Buddy Amosquito will play in his place. And we talked about that at the outset. Injury bug for North all year, both on offense and defense. The end around, the handoff to Andrew Irvin, but here comes the flag.
That's going to be a false start.
C.B. Brown, he's our white hat today. Let's look at the starters for Elsinore on offense. That offensive line is key. Hebert, Espinoza, they are big in terms of pulling, as are the left tackle and left guard, Davis and Livingston. Santoyo is their big hitter as a running back, and Irvin takes the top off the defense. He's their leading wide receiver. Great attitude, can get to every 50-50 ball. And Robbie Whitlock, the senior quarterback, a program kid, his first year starting at QB for head coach Randy Kirshner. 2nd down and 15 after the penalty. Throwing. Complete to the outside. That's another one of the big tight ends. He'll make about 6 yards on the play. That's Orlando Olmos, who's also a starting linebacker. So a 6-yard completion from Whitlock to Olmos.
We're going to see a lot of guys playing two ways tonight. They've got to get this win. But I'll tell you what, it was 100 degrees out here earlier today in Riverside. Still about 90 out here. Past 7 o'clock tonight, these guys are going to be tired.
Depth will be big. Hill there to help rustle him out. Also in on the play for John W. North, Carlos Granger. 3rd down. Motion. Give. Caden Maxfield. Maxfield, second effort, has the first down inside the 10. Broke a tackle. Finally brought down on the play by Irvin Exman for North, but inside the 9, an 11-yard pickup, good enough for first down. Get a look at Caden Maxfield there on the bench. First-year head coach. You see him walking into the picture there, Randy Kirschman, taking over for Tony Peralta. Peralta, 22 years at the helm. Won a CIF championship amongst those 22 years. Got to another final as well. 1st and goal from the 9 for Elsinore. Olmos shuttles into motion. Here's the give. Santoyo running right. He's got some space. Slithering forward. Did he get in? Stopped at the 1-yard line. So Santoyo dropped after the 8-yard pickup on the play. Another look at it, this time running to the right side. You watch the pull there, and he just after that first initial contact, he just broke a tackle. Adrian Espinoza was the guard pulling, and I mentioned in this wing tee, you watch the guards because that's how you decide if you're a defender which way they're going to go. Call it reading your keys. 2nd and goal from the 1. Turn and give. Santoyo in for the touchdown. So the Tigers navigate the short field and the 1-yard touchdown run with 5:32 to play here in the first quarter.
So a turnover on downs in territory, costing the Huskies here early on. There's that off balance line there.
PAT coming off the foot of Kalui Costa. He's 17 of 18 on the season. Has about 50-yard range. Has kicked a 46-yard field goal this year, Jeff.
I love it.
Left-footed kicker. Puts it up, and now he's 18 of 19 at 7-0 Elsinore with 5:32 to play here in the first quarter. So a good start for the Tigers on that first drive. And here's Santoyo just running in, getting in behind Aaron Knopf. And they'll rotate a lot of linemen in. Trying to keep everybody fresh, like you said. All hands on deck now.
Yeah, and it's not a high, Elsinore's offense isn't going to go out and get you 70, 80-yard plays. They're going to play methodic football. They're just going to pound it. They're going to see the holes, and they're going to play off those gaps, as you said, and see if they can chew up some clock here.
It's a game of precision, Jeff. Like hunting with a bow and arrow. You got to be precise. You got to be careful. You got to, direct where your offense is going to go. And we'll get into it. We'll talk a little bit about the wing tee as we go forward. And great tradition at Elsinore. 96th year of football. As Costa puts his foot into it.
I kind of miss Peralta, though. He was kind of a mix between Tom Selleck and Jerry Seinfeld.
Hogue from the 3. This is Bronson Hogue. Over the 25-yard line, almost with the tackle. They'll mark it up to the 28. So 24 yards return and 1st and 10 from the 28. So really on that first drive, Jeff, North kind of shot themselves in the foot. A couple of penalties and a bad snap kind of put them in a bit of a hole. And they tried the trick play on the punt. It did not work out.
It did not.
As we said, this is, like you were talking about, this is a playoff game. So all hands on deck. We can expect to see both coaches reach deep into the bag, as the kids say. 1st and 10, line is the 28. Shannon throwing to the outside. Branch doing the toe tap 30, 35, pushed out of bounds just ahead of the 40-yard line. Making the play, Guillen Arteaga, the senior, one of the safeties, a program kid. Up to the 32-yard line, so a 4-yard pickup. Second and 6. Shannon thrown to the outside, complete to Branch at the 35. And Leverett immediately pulls him down. They'll mark him up for about a 2-yard gain to the 34-yard line.
And Leverett there with winning that fight, not giving up any yardage on that play. Watch exactly what he does. He grabs him, and he's trying to slip out of this, but he holds him. He holds ground with the guy. That's a great tackle.
Coach Kirschman said, hey, he's a very good cover corner for us. Are they going to bring it all? They're going to bring the blitz. And Hogue, trying to cut back inside, runs right into Olmos. Very close to a first down. A flag comes in on the play. So we'll see where they mark it. Where they mark it, looks like he's got the first down. But let's call out the flag here.
I think we're going to get a hold.
We mentioned C.B. Brown, the other members of the crew. Anthony Green, the umpire. Charles Lewis, the headlinesman. Chris Frescus, the line judge. And Nicholas Frescus. Dario Frescus is the line judge. Nicholas Frescus is the back judge. And you are correct. It will be marked off against North. Already the 3rd penalty against the Huskies.
And this is huge. This is a 3rd down. 3rd and about 11, 3rd and 10 here. They've got to get something going here.
The idea is to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, and they're all on the field here. 2 by 2 for J-Dub. Shannon to throw. Here comes pressure. Stepping up into the pocket is Cam Shannon and runs right into the hands of Costa. And Costa will ride him down. They'll mark him down at the 18. So a loss of 10 on the play, and 4th down coming up.
Boy, this Elsinore defense getting inside here early, showing blitz here.
And statistically, they've been a little maligned, allowing about 400 yards per game and just under 25 points. But, the bulk of those points against two teams, Rancho Verde and Orange Vista, who clearly are the class of the league this year.
Yeah, in fact, they're the class of the area. Best athletes between those two schools right there, and that's nearly blocked.
Zavala with the punt, fair caught at the 48-yard line. And so a 28-yard kick, no return. Making the fair catch for Elsinore is Andrew Irvin. The punt from Fernando Zavala, and another short field for the Lions, or for the Tigers. I was researching this before the game. What do you think is the odds of a Husky against a Tiger?
Very, very little.
Yeah, it's like, my cousin has 2 little boys, one's 5 and one's 2, and they like to wrestle, 2.5, right?
Yeah.
But the 5-year-old is always going to have the strength advantage on the 2.5-year-old, so it doesn't always last that long. From the 48, it's a 1st and 10. Sepulveda shuttling into motion, the give to Santoya, and he runs right into the teeth of the defense for John W. North. Nothing doing there. He may have even lost a yard or 2.
I think he lost about 3 or 4 there.
They're going to mark him back into Elsinore territory. So a 3-yard loss for Julian Santoya on the play. You mentioned the discipline you need, and we were talking about the wing tee, right? And it's very much like the Princeton offense in the sense that it kind of uses your speed against you. So it's very intense assignment football. 2nd and 13. Here comes Irvin. Here's the give to Irvin on the end around. Moving up inside. Breaks one tackle. He bounces it outside now. He's to the 30, 25. Could he go to the house? He is gone. Andrew Irvin with the quick strike. 51-yard run for Elsinore. 13-0 Tigers.
Wow, I thought he was going to go inside, then pops outside, and it was a foot race. No one even coming close to get that young man. Great run.
And, we're talking about, this is the old Bill Belichick line about do your job. You need to work your assignment there, but Irvin made it a little more difficult as he bounced it outside. It's really tight assignment football, but once he got to the second level, it was all about his speed. Here's Costa. 14-0 Tigers. 2:32 to play here in the first quarter.
Wow. If you'd have told me this quickly that they would score this fast, watch this run. He has 2 guys actually touch him, and then nobody else.
Yeah, a couple of North guys kind of cross each other. So that's what I'm saying, is you cross into the other guy's lane. It almost helped Irvin get around there. Little dance?
Is that like a gritty? Is that what they call that?
Do a little dance in the doghouse? I don't know about that.
I don't know.
They're having fun. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Now, we were playing. That wouldn't have gone too well for either of us, but they're just having fun.
I see my kids walking and doing the gritty around my house.
Oh, the gritty.
The gritty. They do the gritty. And
then Luke's a big dance guy.
But he also likes to twerk, and he's over there. He called Pep Fernandez the other day, and he was twerking. I said, "What are you doing? Knock it off!"
Running it back is Solis. This is Osvaldo Solis. Navigates up over the 40-yard line and met by a pride of Tigers. What is a Tigers? Is a streak.
A streak or an ambush?
An ambush of Tigers stop him right at the 40-yard line.
Now, are you a fan of? I know you're not a huge fan of the canine, the dog, but the Huskies. When I go to the dog park, I have my big German Shepherd.
That's right.
The Huskies kind of gang up on him.
Well, that's what they're saying. Is Huskies are most effective in packs.
Yes, they are.
Because they're part wolf, right?
They are part wolf.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. North down 2 scores early here. Not a good start for the Huskies. Here's the give to Hogue. He's a big game hitter. Crossing up to about the 45-yard line, a 4-yard pickup on the play, making the tackle. Jaden Evans, the junior. Now they rotate a little bit. They play that 4-2-5, meaning Elsinore, but because a couple of their guys play defense and offense, they'll rotate some different players in, and Evans is one of them. He shares time at that nickel safety with Santoya. Under 2 minutes to play first quarter. 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard pickup. They'll find Branch at the 41. Branch has the first down and more. Branch could have broken it, pushed out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So a 12-yard pickup on the play. A nice little hookup from Cameron Shannon to Branch.
You watch. There is some quickness on this North team, and if you can get them in open space, they could cause some problems for this Tiger defense.
So to the 43 of Elsinore, and a big drive needed. Zavala and Branch split out to the top of the screen. Boucher split out to the near side. Hogue, the tailback. Granger in at fullback. Shannon stepping up. Cameron looking down the field, now throws it to the 30. Complete there inside the 30-yard line. Maxfield with the tackle. Making the catch for North is Anthony Zavala.
Hey, you cannot give Cameron Shannon this much time to throw the football.
Yeah, he's 5 for 5. The first catch for Zavala. 14-yard reception. And nice job. Now, I think the reason Granger was in there, Jeff, is for blitz pickup. So Branch split out to the far side, Boucher to the near side. First and 10 from the 29 of Elsinore. Shannon looking downfield, one-on-one. Branch reels it in. Touchdown, Huskies. Straight go. He was one-on-one with David Ibabus Moses.
And if you watched that play, you knew exactly where that thing was going. It was a foot race. And throws it right over the top for a perfect strike.
Branch has been the guy so far. He's caught 5 balls already. And Shannon just put that right on the money. PAT coming up, Alana Vaipulu. Instead, that's not Alana Vaipulu, putting it through Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez. Another look at the drive here. Branch making that first play, kind of get the drive moving, and then he'll find Zavala here for about 15 yards over the middle. Nice bit of footwork there by Shannon. Great touch on the throw. And then we'll see the touchdown on the next play. Shannon gets time, sees his receiver one-on-one, and Branch, a tough assignment, and the only question is, can he haul it in? And he does. Big touchdown there for North, Jeff. Needed to stem the tide a little bit.
Well, that negates the first series where they kind of messed everything up. There's a redemption right there. See if they can do it again.
Here comes the kickoff from Guzman Velasquez. Irvin from the 11. Irvin's already scored once today. He's got some space, and the kicker makes the save. Tackle at the 45-yard line. So a 34-yard return. The tackle made by Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez. How about the kicker helping his own cause?
Oh, I'll tell you what, he was the only guy to stop him, or he would have gone for pay dirt another time. Kicker getting some love as he gets off the field. Oh, no, I think they just might have hurt him.
We were talking with Randy Kirshner, the Elsinore head coach. You were talking about kickers because he really likes his kicker, Kalui Costa, and you were talking about your affinity for kickers.
Kickers are my favorite. The kickers are people, too. They always have the weirdest story of anybody on the team.
First and 10, line is the 45 for Elsinore. Here's Sepulveda shuttling into motion, and here come flags. C.B. Brown. And he's saying the music. What was the game? They had a controversy this year.
Wasn't it here?
No. It was a college game where the official directly told the music guy to cut it out. I want to say Washington, but I think it was Washington because Washington played Oregon this week.
We've had a game here before, though, where they've had to. I remember a referee going over and yelling at the band here, I think. Oh, it was Nordavista. That's right.
So I guess it's a warning. They didn't mark off any yardage from the 45, first and 10. Here's Sepulveda in motion. Santoyo takes it off the left side. Written down by Afungia at about the 49-yard line. So 4 yards on the play for Julian Santoyo. Santoyo, it was funny talking to Randy Kirschman. He said, this kid has the eye of the tiger, hyper-competitive athlete and complete football player and, not huge guy, but plays very much above his size and kind of one of the heart and soul guys on this Tiger club. And they're hoping to get back to the playoffs. They've only missed the playoffs one time since 2001, unless you count 2020 where there were no playoffs. But Just 2016 was the only year they didn't make the playoffs. 2nd and 6. Throwing downfield. And it's
great catch.
Incomplete. It was a great catch, but he couldn't hold it. Hauling it in for Elsinore was Marco Rupp, but he couldn't hold the ball as Whitlock launched it down the field, incomplete. So he's now 2 of 4 through the air. And everything but the kitchen sink on the coverage for J-Dub on the play coming over. Irvin Exmond, who's really emerged late as we are at the end of the first quarter with a 14-7 lead for Elsinore over JW North. And hey, this is playoff game. You'll be able to see all the playoff implications tonight on the Friday night pep rally. The great Pep Fernandez will be there.
And a
Jeff
cavalcade.
Gorham is scheduled to appear.
I am scheduled to appear. I hope I can make it in tonight. Do the show. Greatest show on planet Earth.
There he is, O.P. Vaipulu, the head coach
I do miss his long hair, though.
for John W. North. He's older now, more mature.
There's Vaipulus everywhere. I told you I did the PA announcing for UC Riverside Soccer yesterday.
Matt Gonzalez.
And I said, hey, there's a Vaipulu.
That's O.P.'s cousin.
Yeah.
And her younger sister, Alana, kicks for North. There's O.P. Vaipulu, fourth-year head coach. Was a head coach for a year at Riverside Poly, his alma mater. We'll switch sides now. Third down coming up for Elsinore. Irvin in the far slots. Sepulveda shuttling. Here's the throw. He'll throw to Sepulveda. Afungia right there, not much. A 2-yard pickup into North territory. 4th down and 4 coming up.
Fungia really targeted that. He saw that coming the whole way.
So Sepulveda picks up 2 yards on the reception. And 4th and 4 coming up for Elsinore. The punt team will come out. Adrian Stankovic. Stankovic out to kick. Averages about 36.5 yards a kick. That'd be pretty good here. It would pin North inside the 20. High kick, but it's a short kick. Fair catch being signaled. It will be inside the 20, back to the 17-yard line as Boucher whistles or waves for the fair catch. 32-yard kick, no return. J-Dub starts 1st and 10 from the 17. So, we do our research. You do the coach's show. You do the coach's perspective. You talk to the coaches. I try to call the coaches, talk for 15, 20 minutes. But some of the best information we get is that, the Colombo walking out the door information, right?
Yes.
And so we're down on the field with Coach Vaipulu, and he said, wait, who's that over on the other side? I said, that's Randy Kirschman. And he goes, I played against that. We played against each other in an all-star game. Riverside versus San Bernardino. Coach Kirschman played at Paloma Valley. Of course, Coach Vaipulu played at Poly. First and 10 from the 19, Bronson Hogue. Over the 20 to about the 22. Runs right into the awaiting hands of Jaden Harrell, the junior defensive tackle. Multi-sport athlete is Harrell, and Coach Kirkman said very disruptive guy on the defensive side. Defensive coordinator, Jeff Hodges for Elsinore. He's been there since 2004, worked under Tony Peralta. 5-yard pickup on the play for Bronson Hogue. 2nd and 5. They'll feed Hogue again. This time Hogue runs right into Olmus. Costa there on the hit for Elsinore, along with Nathan Guillen. Advanced traverse over the 25 to the 26. 3rd and 3 coming up, and Hogue has to come off as he loses his helmet.
Hogue just like a super sophomore. Saw a little bit of him last year, getting in some varsity minutes.
He's been up and down this year, obviously, with injuries. So Dylan Boucher split out far side, near slot branch, split out to the near side, Anthony Zavala. Makai Hill, I believe, the tailback. Shannon looking, now he's in trouble, trying to break through, and he won't. He'll go down. Nice job by Costa, kind of boxing the quarterback, which allows Joey Garcia to make the sack back to the 20-yard line, 4th down.
They just go from the outside, funnel him in.
We talk about assignment football. Nobody overruns their area and allows Garcia to make the tackle. 6'3", 205-pound senior. Gets after the QB. He's the playmaker. And now here's Fernando Zavala to kick it. Takes a bounce and takes an Elsinore bounce to about the 49-yard line. So a 32-yard kick, no return. Andrew Irvin did not get a chance to return that one again. Very good field position for Elsinore. Get a look at O.P. Vaipulu. Beard trimmed nicely.
I want one of those North shirts. They're pretty cool looking. I'd wear that around Riverside.
Talk to Mike Barty. He'll get you one.
I should. So
officially they mark it at the 48-yard line. So 1st and 10, Elsinore from the 48. come out running that wing tee. Invented by who, Jeff? Who was the father of the wing tee?
I have no idea. Who was it?
Tubby Raymond. Harold Tubby Raymond, who was for 35 years the head coach at the University of Delaware. Actually, he picked that up from his coach at Michigan. And actually, then he was the one who really perfected it. So Elsinore calls a timeout.
Hillcrest versus La Sierra. They're up 14-6, and that's on our other sister station. Would you call it that?
Doubleheader.
Doubleheader.
Both games. Hillcrest trying to wrap up. Some playoff positioning as well.
That's right.
They get that third win. And Ramona, your alma mater, man. That's going to be a big. We got that showdown next week. Going to be a big one. Ramona and Norte Vista. But we're here at John W. North.
The Ken brothers, Ken and Ken.
The two Kens.
Tale of two Kens.
Two Kens, no Barbies. So just want to acknowledge, Pink Zone game tonight here at John W. North. It's senior night tonight. So a lot going on here at 3rd and Chicago, and first down coming up for Elsinore after the timeout. Irvin flexed out to the top. Santoyo now in motion. The give to Santoyo. Ducks it up inside. He's into North territory. Afungia there takes him down. He's up to the 49-yard line. 3 more yards for Julian Santoyo.
Afungia has been everywhere so far in this first half.
The defense for North has been banged up, but Coach Vaipulu said, we're getting healthier. Of course, they had a late scratch earlier today. Jordan Nance, not an injury, but he just wasn't feeling well, so didn't want to risk it with him. 2nd and 7 coming up. The one thing Coach Vaipulu said, we've had to play guys in tough situations, so at least the guys we're playing now have gotten some reps. Here's the give to the first man through. This is Dukin Robinson, and Robinson with maybe a yard runs right into the middle of that defensive line. The big fella, Eric Santiago, getting up from the bottom of the pile. Maybe a yard for Robinson. Robinson also a starting linebacker for Elsinore. These teams played last year, and it was 27-17 North, and that win was big for them in terms of making the playoffs. Ultimately, the Tigers did get in as an at-large, but North secured that number 3 seed in the Ivy, that third automatic qualifier. 3rd and 6 from the North 48. Let's see if they bring the heat here. Toss to Santoyo, trying to turn the corner. He'll slip up to the 45. Second effort, gets the first down up to the 40-yard line. So an 8-yard pickup and the sticks move up. And we talked about the competitiveness of Santoyo. Just kept those legs churning and moved forward on the second effort to get the first down.
Yeah, great. Watch this. He churns those legs, and a spin at the end eludes the look at that. That's what happened. He made a great spin move and got about 4.5 extra yards there.
Yeah, Andrew Mosqueda made the tackle at the end. 1st and 10, Elsinore from the North 40. We near 7 minutes to play in the first half. Irvin to the near side. Looking down the field, and wide open is Maxfield, and it's a touchdown for Elsinore. Whitlock connects with Caden Maxfield. 40-yard strike.
Just a straight post right up the middle. Nobody saw him. Great play call from Elsinore.
Whitlock to Maxfield for 40 yards and a TD. 20-7 in favor of Elsinore. Here comes Costa to try the PAT.
Elsinore coming in, averaging, I think, 25 points per ball game. They're already here at 20. We still got plenty of time here in the second quarter.
Giving up 25, they scored 21. They had a couple of games where they really have been shut down on the offensive side, but not tonight. And, we're talking with Randy Kirschman as we get a look at the touchdown. Nice job by Whitlock. I mean, not a guy who gets to throw a lot, but threw a good ball there and put it right where it needed to be. Pressure coming off the edge, and he got out of it wide open is Maxfield. But using the term, he said, hey, we're going to run the wing T. I'm not going to go away from that, but we're going to kind of evolve a little bit. And we see the wrinkle with the pistol, the pistol snap, the shotgun snap, and it opens up things a little bit. And a lot of it goes off the quarterback. And he's a program, Robbie Whitlock is a program guy and really worked hard in the offseason. He said what's interesting is that he hasn't really been a starter at any level. So it was a wide open competition, and Whitlock ended up winning it. And because of him, because of what he does and the work he puts in, that's why they incorporated some of that pistol, some of that gun in there, because they feel it fits Robbie Whitlock's skill sets.
Well, it fit quite well so far tonight. He's made some pretty darn good passes.
4 for 6 through the air. The touchdown that he threw from the goal line, and they'll say it stays back there, the touchback, as Dylan Boucher was going to try to bring it out. So 6:59 to play in the first half. John W. North will have the football. Thanks for joining us. Ghazal Hassan with you along with Jeff Gorham. We're at 3rd in Chicago for John W. North and Elsinore. Ivy League matchup here. We've been jumping back and forth. We had the River Valley last week. Ivy this week. We're going to go back to the River Valley next week.
We are all over. And how many games? I mean, they've all been pretty darn good games this season.
A lot of good games. Well, you weren't with me Friday, but that was probably the best game of the year, that Patriot game.
And I missed it.
And your good friend, the evil Chris Fowler, he coached a great game, and they just fell a little bit short. First down, Shannon.
Oh!
And down he goes inside the 15, making the play for Elsinore. Jaden Evans.
Well, Shannon thought he had gotten away from that little grab, but no. Elsinore's come in tonight, and they're making some big-time tackles here.
Yeah, their defense, they're really, look at it, they're really honoring their assignments. That's his job. Evans' job is to box the quarterback. 2nd down and 16. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Makai Hill on the carry. And Hill gets up from the bottom of the pile, making the tackle, Dukin Robinson. Robinson, the senior linebacker, the sideline-to-sideline presence. So Hill, they stoned him. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 16 coming up, or 15 coming up. Can Shannon make a play, get the ball to a man in space? Hill shuttles out. Shannon dancing, gets past Costa. Little jump pass over the middle, complete to the 25. And twisting forward to about the 29-yard line. Good second effort from Dylan Boucher. Might be just a yard short.
And this is a tough one. If you're Coach Vaiapulu, are you going to gamble this? Yeah.
And they gambled once. It didn't turn out so good. Here comes Mitch Afungia. And they may go jumbo backfield and just try to run behind the big guy, Jake Ariano, their center. Another look here. And he's so good at buying time with his feet and little jump pass. Here we go. 4th and 1. The give to Hogue, and he's got the first down. Hogue running over the right side. That was big Mike Serrano, the right tackle. All the way up to the 32-yard line. Hogue gets the first down.
If you're North, you do not want to give the ball back to Elsinore with this time on the clock. Remember, they get the ball coming out second half.
Yeah. You said it, playoff football. This is, for all practical purposes, this is a playoff game. Nice block. Who made that block on the outside? They bought in the linebacker, Tavita Avatongo, playing tight end on that play. Shannon the play fake. Over the middle. Whipping it. It's complete. That's Branch. And Branch gets away. Branch to the open field, and he's not going to stop. Touchdown, Huskies. 67-yard catch and run. There is a flag down on the play.
I think it's going to be a hold. I saw where they threw the flag.
And Branch has been the workhorse among the receivers. C.B. Brown. How do you know C.B. Brown?
C.B. Brown was the commanding officer of Norton Air Force Base, and we've been dear friends. I want to say close to 40 years.
Wow.
Good friend of my father, great friend of ours. We have a mutual friend, Rob Curry.
So the foul is a face mask, and they're going to decline it. So the touchdown, put it in the books.
Nice.
67 yards. to Carson Branch. He's already got 6 catches and 2 touchdowns here with 4:31 to play in the second quarter. So 67 yards from Shannon to Branch. Second hookup for them, a big TD. And here comes the PAT off the foot of Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez. Swings the left leg, and the PAT good. 21-14, back to a 1-score game. And now Opie Vaipulu's got to draw something up on defense. And Shannon, we've seen, he is so good at top speed. His man breaks open. Nice job breaking the tackle, and then he is gone. Last man with a shot at him for Elsinore, David Ibibos Moses, and he can't quite catch up with the speed of Carson Branch.
Branch says, hey, we're going to make these playoffs. We got to do what we can. That's a huge play.
Now remember, so they're going to tack on the penalty, the face mask on the kickoff. So it was the incidental face mask, which is 5 yards. So they'll kick off from the 45-yard line. Perhaps this can give the defense for John W. North an advantage. But I'll tell you what, I mean, Elsinore's offense has looked pretty efficient, Jeff. They've done a couple of different things. They've added some dimensions. They're running the ball. They're throwing the ball. Irvin from the 3. Find some space in the middle and then ridden down from behind just over the 20-yard line. Making the tackle on the play for John W. North is Leviticus Mitchell. So 1st and 10. A big stand for the defense for J-Dub. And, you know, Opie Vaipulu kind of took over the defensive play calling early in the season. And you don't want to be hyperbolic, but this drive could be basically the season right here.
Yes,
they can somehow stop Elsinore and get the ball back. And the Tigers, you just want to run that clock down. You want to get points, but ideally you want to run that clock down because you're going to get the ball to start the second half.
You want to protect that lead.
From the 21, it's a 1st and 10. Randy Kirschman is the play caller for Elsinore. He is their first-year head coach. Here's the gift to Santoyo running to the right side. And Santoyo crosses up to about the 24-yard line. I love the chess match, man. Head coach on one side calling the defense. Head coach on the other side calling the offense and the defense against each other. Let the game of cat and mouse begin.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
It's like Nathan Lane in Mouse Hunt. You ever see Mouse Hunt? You ever watch that with your kids?
Yes.
That's actually a great movie.
It is a good movie, yes.
Because you think it's a kid's movie, and it kind of is a kid's movie, but there's fun stuff for the adults in there as well. 2nd and 7 coming up. And anytime you can bring up Nathan Lane in a football broadcast, you got to do it.
I don't think it's ever been done.
Take that, Al Michaels. Irvin in the far slot. Robinson flexed out as the tight end, the second tight end on the near side. Here comes Irvin in motion. They'll give it to Irvin, trying to turn the corner. He turns over the 25, and then down he goes. And how about that? Dylan Boucher coming in to make the tackle. He'll mark it up to the 26-yard line, so about a 3-yard pickup on the play. And Irvin has already had a big score today.
Now here's Boucher. Watch. Like you said, Boucher comes out of nowhere. Gets him just as he's heading out of bounds. That's a good tackle.
Irvin of the 51-yard TD run earlier. So 3rd down coming up. Will they go to the air? Will they go to the ground? What do they do here? Marco Rupp stacked with Irvin. Now Irvin goes into motion. Misdirection to give to Santoyo, and nobody is fooled. Big Eric Santiago makes the hit, loss back to the 24-yard line. 4th down coming up. We'll see the Elsinore punt team.
Santiago coming in hard.
Santiago, Santoyo. Santoyo, Santiago. Bet you didn't think I could squeeze in a reference to the 1995 Academy Awards, Jeff Gorham. So punting it away is Adrian Stankovic. Stankovic kicks it high. Boucher backtracking. He'll let it bounce And how much? Well, what do we talk about in terms of catching the punt? The ball bounces out of bounds at about the 32.
Got to catch it.
44-yard kick, no return away. Probably picked up about 10 yards on the bounce. So 43, because they'll mark to the 33-yard line, and that's where North will start it. So 2:38 to play. North has all 3 timeouts. So keep that in mind. There's Opie Vaipulu. It's Kevin Kiker, the offensive coordinator. Last-minute instruction to his offense. So the defense did their job. Can the offense put some points on the board? 1st and 10 from the 33. Big stand also for the defense for Elsinore. Let's see. Shannon has been in rhythm the last couple of drives. Let's see what he can do. Play action. Thrown to the outside. It's complete. 40-yard line up to the 41. Making the catch. Tyleek Barra, the Hillcrest transfer. David Ibibos Moses with the tackle. Give it an 8-yard pickup. First catch for Barra. 2nd down and 2 from the 41. Shannon has time. Now he doesn't. Rolling to the outside. He'll throw to the outside. Nearly picked off by Santoyo. He was looking for Dylan Boucher, and Julian Santoyo right there to knock it down.
And that's what you're supposed to do. You know, you have a 3rd down here. Go up and just block it. You're not going to get that interception, but he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Well, he's making a play on the ball, but nice job. And the offense will stay out there on 3rd. Well, yeah, of course it will. It's 3rd down. So Boucher split out to the far side. Split out to the near side, Branch and Barra. Hogue will take the carry. He'll get the 1st down right to midfield on that painted Husky visage. So longest run of the night for Hogue, 8 yards. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Running against that left side. Big fella Albert Bastidas moving some bodies. 1st and 10. Shannon throwing out of the backfield. Hogue escorted out of bounds by Robinson. He'll get up to the 47-yard line of Elsinore. About a 5-yard pickup on the little swing pass. Got out of bounds, so he'll stop the clock. Now I want to mention, looks like Ryan Sanzatera, the starting defensive end, one of the starting defensive ends for Elsinore, not in the game. He came out of the field, was in street clothes, had his jersey on, but just regular pants. Shannon, RPO, taking it himself, will slide down after picking up the 1st down. He'll get up to the 39-yard line. That's what they'll give him, 39. So 9 yards for Shannon. 1st down, the sticks move up.
What a great athlete. Shannon is so fun to watch. He's such a heady player and really just super intelligent on the field.
1st and 10 from the 39. Here comes pressure. Shannon will run again. Inside the 20, finally pushed out of bounds by Robinson. Fooled me. I thought he was going to go out of bounds. He gets out at the 16, a 22-yard pickup for Cam Shannon in the red zone.
He is fun to watch, isn't he?
You mentioned, the intelligence, the IQ, the football IQ, and he's been looked at by some Ivy League schools as well. Cornell, Columbia looking at him. Guillen had a shot at him, but he got away from him there, and Robinson, the last line of defense, pushes him out of bounds. So Zavala in the far slot. Boucher split out to the far side. To the near side is Branch. 1st and 10. They marked him out actually at the 16. And a timeout on the play. Elsinore calling a timeout. So they have 1 timeout left. 21-14, North knocking on the door here. I mean, we talked about it. Heavy playoff implications, Jeff.
You can tell these guys know something's going on here. Now, you mentioned last year Elsinore got in as an at-large. And I know
they won a game. Division 8, they won a game.
Now, you've been going over the projections, I guess they're going to call them. How many? Well, is there an opportunity here for a fourth team this year in the league as well?
It's so much is determined on who the other AQs are, right? If in these 4-team leagues, it's really weird. But the South Coast is a perfect example, right? Because Capo Valley was 7-0, and it's a 14 pod. They lost their first game, so now they're 0-1. They're not in the AQ. If a team like Capo Valley doesn't get the AQ, you would expect them to get in. It's because of the rating being so high. 1st and 10 from the 16. Give to Hogue right up the middle. Hogue dragging tacklers with him. He's down at about the 6, close to another first down. Making the tackle on the play for Elsinore is Jesse Livingston, who's an offensive lineman playing on the D-line. Also getting in on the play was Jaden Harrell. So there's Harrell kind of right. It was Harrell that rode him down. So Harrell rides him down. Here's Hogue again, and this time inside the 5, down to about the 4-yard line. So the sticks are dropped, 1st and goal here. From the 3. Shannon to Hogue, and nice play defensively. They drop Hogue, combining on the hit. Joey Garcia for Elsinore, getting some help from Cesar Navarrete, and a timeout on the field. 30 seconds to play. Ball at the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal coming up.
And you can still run the football. You do have 2 timeouts left here.
Really need to get into the end zone. You mentioned a couple of times Elsinore gets the ball to start the second half. Get the touchdown here, you're all even, Steven. At the very least, you want the 3 points in the back pocket there. Both these teams we mentioned, they played pretty tough non-league schedules. And then the win last week against Temescal Canyon, and they got Heritage next week. Elsinore finishes off next week with Temescal Canyon. So this is a pivotal game. This is
and then the big game is Orange Vista and Rancho Verde.
OV Rancho. That's next week. That's week 10.
We're already at week 10.
2nd and goal coming up. Full house backfield. Shannon the throw. Completes it to Branch, and a flag comes in. They stop him. Maxfield gets the tackle.
Oh, that's a hard call right there to hold. Wow.
So they'll back it off. So a 10-yard mark-off against John W. North. So decision time. Well, you still got the timeouts left, so you could run a play and call timeout. Good idea to get the ball to Branch, and Maxfield got there along with Leverett. Cade Maxfield, pretty good football player.
Fun to watch.
I've seen. Yeah. Plays offense, plays defense. He and Santoyo kind of grew up together. They've been playing together since youth football. So the ball goes back to the 13-yard line, 2nd and goal. You see Branch in the far slot. Zavala split out to the near side. And now Branch in motion. Shannon being chased. Shannon. He's going to go in. He steps out of bounds inside the 5. So 3rd down coming up. The clock does stop with 15 seconds to play.
Smart move to get out of bounds there. Saving the timeout as
Guillen
well.
chasing him along with Olmos, and then gets outside. Robinson was the one that kind of cut him off on the angle. So 15 seconds to play. This would have to be a pass, I would guess. Stacked on the near side, Damian Mendoza and Carson Branch. Shannon, here comes the pressure. Shannon throwing, and it's a touch. Is it? Did he hold it?
No, he's out of bounds at the 1.
So I thought, so he did hold it, but he stopped at the 1, and they're going to stop the clock 4th down and goal coming up from the 1. Now, I was wondering if he had dropped the football, but obviously it was a completed pass.
Let's see. I think he steps out of bounds here. I think that's the call because he did touch the pylon with his hand. Let's see if he's out of bounds.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah.
Although, did he step? He stepped out first, I guess. Here we go. From the 1, 4th and goal. Full house backfield. And a timeout. John W. North calls a timeout.
Let's see here.
Shannon again doing such a good job buying time.
Yes, out of bounds, right? Good call.
Seven seconds to play, 4th and goal. You got to get points off this. Kevin Kiker looking back towards the camera. He's the offensive coordinator for John W. North. 21-14, and you can feel the playoff atmosphere.
I'm nervous, for gosh sakes. I want to be a fan just as much as anyone else, but this is nerve-wracking.
Both these teams trying to dig themselves out. I mean, Rancho Verde and Orange Vista handle the Huskies. They handle the Tigers. But both these teams still fighting for that playoff spot, that 3rd automatic qualifier out of the Ivy League. Here we go. And now Shannon will call timeout. So I guess the previous timeout was the last timeout taken by Elsinore. This timeout is taken by North. So they have one timeout remaining as well. 21-14 with 7 seconds to go. And there's a look at the Ivy League standings. Obviously the league and for Orange Vista, the league and the overall are flipped. So North has beaten Temescal Canyon. Elsinore has beaten Heritage. Elsinore will play Temescal next week. North will play Heritage next week. And then obviously the big boys, the Coyotes.
The brother versus brother, the Civil War.
Zomalt versus Zomalt. My guy Ahmad Noor, the defense coordinator for Rancho Verde, and he's telling me, man, Orange Vista, they're a bear. I know they're the Coyotes, but defensively, they're a bear to prepare for. Sire Gaines. 4th down and goal. Here we go. Aravongo, Afungia, and Hogue. Shannon. Looking, throwing, Branch, touchdown! Touchdown Huskies, the last play of the first half. Cam Shannon making plays. You talked about it earlier, Jeff.
I'll tell you what, good players, great players can win you ball games, and he's that guy that is going to have to carry this team on his back. Nearly gets sacked, slips out, and throws a perfect strike just over the top of that secondary.
7 catches for Branch, 133 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And the PAT is up and good. We are tied at 21. How about the Huskies closing out the first half with fury? That final drive, remember the defense got the big stop. And then Shannon making some plays out of the backfield to Hogue here. Hogue doing a nice job on this drive as well. And here's Shannon again, using his feet. Getting up and pushed out of bounds there. And then Elsinore's defense hung in for about as long as they could, but Cam Shannon making plays. That one to Hogue. And then here's the play to Carson Branch for the touchdown. Oh, man, bearing down on him was Guillen Arteaga, but he gets the ball to Branch for the touchdown.
Just a great play to end the half. Boy, what a ball game.
3 touchdown passes for Cam Shannon in the first half. Elsinore with a 21-7 lead, but now we're all even at 21. We'll step away here. Senior night here at 3rd in Chicago. Halftime festivities about to get underway. Jeff and I will take a quick break, and we'll be back to bring the second half to you here. Ivy League matchup with heavy playoff implications. Huskies 21, Tigers 21. We're back.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Our convenient curbside trash collection services help promote a clean and healthy Riverside. But what do you do when you have items too big or heavy for your can? That's where our bulky item pickup service can help. Before you call for help with your bulky items, be aware that not all items are acceptable for our free curbside service. Furniture, tree trimmings that are properly bundled and no longer than 36 inches, water heaters, and other non-hazardous materials are fine for curbside pickup. Appliances containing Freon such as refrigerators, freezers, and room air conditioners may also be picked up curbside by separate appointment. Unacceptable items include hazardous waste, antifreeze, paints, filters, and tires. We also cannot pick up electronic waste such as computer monitors and televisions, or fluorescent bulbs and household batteries. Construction or demolition materials such as scrap wood, metal, concrete, doors, and drywall are also not accepted. These items may be dropped off in person for no cost at the Agua Mansa transfer station or at one of our Clean Up Riverside events. For more information and the current schedule for these drop-off events, please visit riversideca.gov/cleanupriverside or call 951-826-5311, your one-stop shop for city services. To schedule a bulky item pickup, first call your service provider for an appointment. On the day of your appointment, please make sure that your items are curbside by 5:30 a.m. You may have up to 5 items picked up at each service call. If you have an appliance containing Freon, please call the Appliance Recycling Center of America at 1-800-654-2722 for your free pickup appointment. RPU customers may even qualify for a rebate. Visit riversidepublicutilities.com for information on current residential rebate programs. To find out more about the City of Riverside Trash Services or our Clean Up Riverside events, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
The Riverside Libraries have new hours and are now open on Sundays. Now you'll have more time to explore, study, and learn about the things that matter to you the most. The new hours for Arlington, Arlanza, Marcy, La Sierra, Orange Terrace, Eastside, and Casablanca libraries are Tuesday to Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., while the Downtown Main Library is open Tuesday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Friday to Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. To find out more information about the new hours along with events and programs at the library nearest to you, visit riversideca.gov/library.
It's time for a revolution. I'm Cheech Marin, and we're inviting you to reserve your spot for the inaugural showing of Cheech Collects. So get your tickets today. We're looking for you.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. When placing your trash containers for pickup, please observe the following. Place each container with at least 3 feet separation from each other and at least 6 feet from obstructions such as parked cars, fire hydrants, mailboxes, and trees. Your bin should be placed at the curb no later than 5:30 a.m. on your collection day with the arrow on the lid pointed toward the street to ensure your bins get emptied. If you are experiencing issues with your trash collection, or perhaps need a replacement for a damaged trash bin, please contact our customer service call center by using the 311 app or website, or by dialing 951-826-5311 to reach one of our customer service representatives. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks. The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. There are 3 different containers for your trash. The blue bin is for recyclables and should only be used for clean recyclable materials such as aluminum cans, cardboard, glass bottles, plastics, and styrofoam. The old brown bin, or new bin with gray lid, is for standard household trash and items not suitable for the other bins, such as animal waste, cactus, palm fronds, soil products, and other waste. The green barrel is for your grass clippings, leaves, weeds, and other plant materials, excluding palm fronds, cactus, and yucca. And please remember not to use any of the containers for heavy construction waste such as concrete. For a complete guide to sorting your trash, please visit riversideca.gov/publicworks.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
The Riverside City Clerk's Office's mission is to enhance community trust and promote equitable public services by providing accessible and efficient legislative support, digital services, and city records to residents, city council, city staff, and business partners. We prioritize fiscal responsibility and adapt innovative services to meet the ever-changing needs of the community. We strive to provide residents and businesses with responsive and optimal services. So what does that all mean? Our lean and high-performing team is divided among 3 important functions: legislative, administrative support, and resident services. Besides working as a partner with every city department, the City Clerk's Office is responsible for many public-facing duties such as our passport acceptance facility. The passport team averages over 6,000 applications processed annually, making us the most widely used and highest-performing passport facility in the region. As the keepers of the city's legislative historical record, we are the go-to office for public information requests. On average, our office fulfills over 1,600 requests a year with a 3-day average response time, much faster than the 10 days required by state law. Every 10 years after the U.S. Census, the city is required to redraw its ward boundaries to ensure equal representation, and the city clerk's office is an integral part of that effort. In 2022 and 23, we hosted and attended 40 community meetings to gather input from our residents on how we should reshape Riverside. Visit reshaperiverside.com to find out more about this process and to learn about Riverside's new ward boundaries. The city clerk's office is also responsible for municipal elections, as well as the onboarding and swearing in of all newly elected council members and newly appointed board and commission members. Our office processes all applications for new members and provides annual training for the city's legislative bodies. We provide staff and legislative support for 8 of the city's 18 boards and commissions. The city clerk's office also provides agenda processing for city council and committees, as well as the boards and commissions that we support, averaging over 200 agendas processed per year. As the City of Riverside's filing officer, the city clerk is responsible for processing financial disclosure forms for public officials as well as routing contracts for execution. All this work would not be possible without our dedicated team. City clerks truly are the grease that keep the wheels of municipal government turning, and our office is here to support Riverside's residents by ensuring that the decision-making process is transparent to the public, complies with federal, state, and local regulations, and is properly recorded. If you have a public records request, want to know more about the city's legislative history, or have an interest in running for public office, the Riverside City Clerk's team is here for you. To find out more, please visit riversideca.gov/cityclerk.
So today we're standing here in front of the Grandmother's Mural, and this is a mural done by an artist named Denise Silva, who is a fantastic artist in our community. And we found this mural when she submitted it for another proposal. And when we, the staff saw it, we said this has to go up somewhere in Riverside.
So I was a little intimidated by the, just setting in a concept, but I thought this is something that I really wanted to do, and actually I just felt really called to submit it. I had become a grandmother, and the way the universe works, it sent this quote in my direction, and it was, "When the grandmothers from the 4 directions speak, a new time is coming." So the 4 directions are represented by the image of the 4 grandmothers: Tongva, people of the earth; Liseño, people of the west; Cahuilla, people of the desert; and Serrano, people of the pines.
When the 4 grandmothers get together, the folklore is that it's winds of change. And what we have done is, so that there is representation all throughout the community, is we have a grandmother at 4 different libraries throughout the community. And so they're all 4 different locations, but they come together here at the main library. And this main library was a big change for the community from what we had before to what we are now.
Our elders, and them being, people that have given us love, that have protected us, have given us safe spaces. I would love for the community to feel that, because that was an intention that I really put into the work. I really wanted to give our indigenous people of the area, I wanted to give them some representation. I wanted to honor them. I wanted to uplift them. They're a reflection of my own ancestors. They're a reflection of my mother and my grandmothers. And I just hope that other people, especially indigenous people and people of color, see themselves in the art, and they feel seen and they feel honored.
Was the dedication ceremony for Mogollon Village, 10 transitional living cottages that will be available for those who have recently been homeless, that are either living in a shelter or a halfway home or something along those lines, that are ready for the next step, but maybe not exactly fully ready to be 100% independent yet.
Well, this is one piece and one of a myriad of solutions that we need to address homelessness in our city. So this housing will support some of the most vulnerable people on our streets. We need more of it and housing at all different levels of support. So we have to start somewhere, and this is a really awesome start.
The city has a dedicated case manager that will be providing the support for the residents here. And then we also partner with Riverside Housing Development Corporation, who will be the property manager. And they will be making sure that the property is well maintained and making sure everybody's adhering to their lease.
We're talking about people that will come in here probably with nothing. And so they have nothing to furnish with. So our agreement with the City Housing Authority is that we would work at furnishing these homes by leveraging Habitat's relationships with some of our local retailers. Habitat for Humanity's model is built around having volunteer work as the labor to keep the costs down for the project. Finally getting to this spot to where we are very close to having these residents move in.
It's just so beautiful. I think this has beautified the neighborhood in a way that we were expecting, but to see it come to life like this, it's just a great day.
Mulberry Village is a really important, I think, demonstration of the types of diverse housing that we need. You know, we need emergency shelter for people who need to get into a bed at night. We need stable housing to help people get in and stay long term. But we also need what we call transitional housing, which is here. I think we're going to see this as a successful model that we will be able to replicate elsewhere. The public is eager to see this type of thing. Our community wants to see the suffering on our streets stop. And this is one way and a big way that we can help that.
The City of Riverside is pleased to announce a new innovative downtown parking program called Parking Your Way, designed to offer more convenient, accessible, and up to 90 minutes free parking in aggregate each day. Parking Your Way will utilize a web app where patrons can select 30 minutes of free parking in a metered on-street space and or 60 minutes free in either a public parking lot or public parking garage. Patrons can conveniently pay and extend their parking needs as well through the web app. Parking Your Way will benefit the Riverside community by enhancing the downtown parking experience, leading to improved quality of life and encouraging patrons to frequent downtown establishments. The web app can be used to select free parking options, pay for parking, and extended parking sessions right from your smartphone. To illustrate how easy the web app is to use, let's demonstrate how a patron would pay for parking in downtown Riverside once they arrive to their parking destination. First, I locate a QR code in the area I'm parking at. I use the camera on my smartphone to scan the QR code. The QR code redirects my smartphone to a web page where I can then enter in my cell phone number. Once done, click Proceed. I'm now able to see the different dates and length of time options in that area. I choose to park my car for about 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I enter in my license plate number. Once completed, I then click Continue. The web app now leads me to a payment page where I enter my credit card information. When done, click Authorize Card. The parking session has now begun. I will receive a text message with the session info. I'm now able to see the parking session, the duration for which I have parked, and the payment that I have authorized for. If you frequent downtown Riverside, it may be best to download the web app and create an account so you don't have to enter all the information each time you park. Parking in downtown Riverside just became easier. This concludes the City of Riverside's parking web app demonstration. Thank you so much.
Are you getting ready for your next adventure? The City of Riverside has got you covered. Our passport acceptance facility is open and ready to help you with getting your U.S. passport. Located at 3025 Madison Street in the Public Utilities Customer Resource Center, we're available to assist you by appointment Monday through Friday. Booking your appointment is easy. Just head to www.riversideca.gov/cityclerk/passport to schedule. And don't forget to check back frequently for updates on appointment availability due to cancellations. We can't wait to help you get one step closer to your next travel destination. To apply for a U.S. passport, first check out our helpful checklist. Then head over to travel.state.gov, the official website of the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Consular Affairs. You'll find all the information you need, including the application forms and instructions, acceptable forms of identification, passport fees, and processing times. Don't forget to complete Form DS-11 before your appointment and bring evidence of U.S. citizenship, a government-issued photo ID, and a 2x2-inch passport photo, or have our friendly staff take one for you. If your passport has been lost...
Back at third in Chicago, and Jeffrey, we have a ball game. 21-21 at the half. Ivy League matchup with heavy playoff implications. Here's Andrew Irvin navigating on a 51-yard touchdown run. He had 2 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. You saw Julian Santoyo take one in from 1 yard out earlier. It was a 14-0 game, and then here's Cameron Shannon lining it up, getting the ball down the field to Carson Branch. What a big half for Branch. 7 catches, 132 yards. And here's Whitlock again hooking up with Caden Maxfield, who takes the 40-yard touchdown to make it 21-7. Then a big stop by the defense for John W. North after they scored this touchdown. 67 yards as Branch shakes off the tackle and goes the rest of the way. A flag came in, but it turned out that it was on the Tigers to make it 21-14. Then after this drive, that's when the North defense came up big, getting a stop. And then here's the Cameron Shannon play with no time on the clock at the end of the first half. He finds Branch, third trip to pay dirt. Carson Branch, 7 catches, 132 yards, 3 touchdowns. Cam Shannon, 12 of 13 through the air, 177 yards, 3 TDs. Hogue, 7 carries, 35 yards, 2 catches, 9 yards. On the Elsinore side, Santoyo, 10 carries, 36 yards, and the touchdown. And quarterback Robbie Whitlock, 4 of 6 through the air, 46 yards, and the 40-yard touchdown to Maxfield. So these teams locked dead even. We talked about the playoff implications. 24 minutes to put one of these two teams in the driver's seat.
Well, I'll tell you what, you couldn't have asked for a better half of football if you're a spectator and love high school football. This was great. Now it's 0-0. We've got, just one more half of football left. Somebody's going to get in the playoffs after the next.
Is it the old like Atlanta Falcons? Which college team do they look like?
It's kind of like an Ole Miss. I mean, they've got the.
Kings kind of got Ole Miss, right?
Yeah, it's almost. I think they're the same uniform, just different color scheme. Modern day,
Wisconsin, maybe. Yeah, it's similar. Great tradition at Elsinore. School opened 125 years ago. They've been playing football for 96 years. You know who their first game was against in 1928?
Riverside Poly.
When Wendell Wilkie lost did Wendell Wilkie run in that election? Maybe it was 2024. Paris.
Wow,
that was the first. That's why they have the rivalry.
That's just shocking that it's now. Is it older than Riverside Poly?
Riverside Poly would be what, 1880? Yeah, so Poly's older because Poly would be 135, right?
Yeah,
or 36 now. Yeah.
That's an amazing. If you've ever been out to Lake Elsinore, it was such a bustling homes there in the 70s, and it really, really built up. And then you had Lakeside come in on the other side of the lake.
Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez ready to kick it off. And the very dangerous Andrew Irvin back deep for Elsinore. I'm guessing they'll kick it short here. I don't think they want any part of Andrew Irvin, but we'll see. Guzman Velasquez kicking. We found out, Matt Walter checked in with us. Alana Vaipulu was injured during a flag football, so she's not available tonight.
Oh, that's right. She's a 2-sport stud.
Kind of bumped, bump knees or something in the flag football match. And now Guzman Velasquez with kicking duties. Okay, they're daring to kick it to Irvin, back to the 4-yard line. Irvin right up the middle. He's got some space. Irvin to the open field. Can Emmanuel Vasquez do it again? He breaks the tackle, but he slows him down enough to drop him inside the 40. A tremendous return. They'll mark it to the 37-yard line. So a 59-yard kickoff return. Irvin already with a 51-yard touchdown. Get another look at it.
I mean, he's a great runner, but watch. He uses his man. Watch, he gets behind those line. And
Good
they
block.
run that wall. Great blocks.
Guillen with a block down the field, and then there's the kicker. Guzman Velasquez trying to bring him down, and finally making the tackle, Carlos Granger, and it's 1st and 10 from the 38 for Elsinore. Again, the Tigers playing the short field.
Give the special teams coach a sticker on his helmet.
Double tight end set out of that kind of modified wing T with 2 receivers in the formation. Santoyo right up the middle and runs headlong into Afungia, but he'll muscle up to about the 35-yard line. 2 more yards for Santoyo. I remember I mentioned he had 36 yards on 10 carries in the first half, including the touchdown, as Afungia comes off the field. Mitch Afungia, late transfer, played JV last year, but has really stepped up. A lot of injuries on the defense for John W. North, and he really helped Opie Vaipulu's unit.
And we called his name out quite a bit in the first half. He was pretty marvelous.
So double tight end to the right side. 2 receivers to the near side. Irvin, the bottom of the stack. They'll give it to Santoyo up the middle, and he's got some space. Finally ridden down at about the 26, but not until after he picked up a first down. They'll mark him to the 27. It's a first down either way. 9 yards for Santoyo, and making the tackle on the play for John W. North is Mekhi Hill.
Everybody's got the pink socks on.
Pink zone game today. A lot of pink on the north side, and again, just running through that right side. Santoyo, just such a competitor, according to his head coach.
Look at the pink. Everything's pink. I'm colorblind. It's I guess it's pink.
1st and 10 from the 27. Santoyo this time taking it to the left side. Gets past Avatongo and then dives forward. Finally, Carlos Granger brings him down inside the 30. Actually inside the 20 down to the 19. So 8 more yards. So they're figuring out the blocking scheme here. Watch the pull. And a nice kick-out block there. That was big Anthony Hebert, who's the center. Not Herbert, Jeff.
It's Hebert? Like Bobby?
Hebert, yeah. Herbert Hebert. Remember the old George Costanza bit in the diner? 2nd and 2 from the 19 for Elsinore. The give to Maxfield. Maxfield running right inside the 15. Kamar Branch Jr. after about a 4-yard pickup. Second carry for Maxfield. 15 yards. Also has the 40-yard touchdown reception. Look at big Eric Santiago and Kamar Branch there for J-Dub. And moving down the field now. They had a short field, to be fair.
Like I said, give the special teams guy a sticker on his helmet.
Andrew Irvin has really made an impact in this one. 1st and 10, line is the 16. Santoyo, he's got some space. Santoyo to the angle. Santoyo into the end zone. Touchdown. 16-yard touchdown run for Julian Santoyo. Second trip to pay dirt for the senior running back.
Boy, they do run this offense quite well, don't they? Run right off the gaps. They know exactly what they're doing. Smart football.
PAT coming up. Santoyo with 2 touchdowns today has 6 on the season. He has 5 running and 1 receiving. Guillen Arteaga with the hold. Kalui Costa with the kick, and it's 28-21. And here's the big play here. You talk about, special teams, coaches always talk about all 3 phases. Great downfield block there by Nathan Guillen. It kind of springs him inside the 30. And it's just tough for a defense when, you're playing the short field immediately. And, they just went back to their bread and butter, Jeff. Between the tackles, up the middle there for Santoyo. Just physical. And that's what Opie Vaipulu said. He said, watch film of these guys. We really got to be physical with them. And he was talking about on both sides of the football. We got to establish the run game, be physical with them there. We got to be physical on the defensive side. But on that drive, it was the Tigers.
And they just, dismantled that defense. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
So third quarter, the first score for Elsinore. Here's Costa to kick it away, the Brazilian. At the 4, this is Dylan Boucher looking for some space. He's got a block downfield, breaks one tackle. Boucher slips. He slips the posse. He's to the open field, and down he goes inside the 30 or inside the 40-yard line.
It's all special teams tonight, Gazal.
Duke Robinson with the tackle. They'll mark him to the 39-yard line. So a 56-yard kickoff return from Dylan Boucher, doing his best to one-up Andrew Irvin. From the 4-yard line, here's Boucher, and I believe it was Branch with a pretty good block. Yeah, it's Branch with the block, or at least the interference that allows him to cut back, and then watch him just break the tackle there. And Robinson finally rides him down. So they did ultimately mark it to the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 North. Shannon has been pretty effective tonight. We mentioned 12 out of 13 through the air. Shannon back to throw. Shannon stepping up. Here's the throw, incomplete.
That's one of the few
It's just a second incompletion.
Yeah.
Looking for Zavala. That was Anthony Zavala on the coverage. Guillen Arteaga.
And probably not his best throw of the night. He was wide open as we look on the replay here.
Good pressure coming, and he had to kind of just step up and fling it. Might have thrown it a little bit prematurely, but he had to get away from the rush. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Things moving awful fast down there, Jeff. Hogue right into the teeth of the defense. What does our friend Pete Arbogast say? How do you do? Making the tackle, Joey Garcia. There's Garcia.
Big 6'3", 205-pounder.
Grew from 5'6" to like 6'3", according to his coach, since the pandemic.
What?
So came in as a freshman, was 5'6", and now as a senior, he's 6'3".
I thought I was going to be a short guy. I was 5'9" as a freshman and 6'4" as a sophomore.
3rd down and 9 for J-Dub from the Elsinore 37. Hogue, left side. Now cutting back up inside, he'll have the first down. Robinson makes the tackle inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. So Hogue kind of finding some rhythm.
Hogue has a great first step. As soon as he catches the football or runs with the football, he is so quick.
When a guy plays varsity as a freshman, you know he's a dude. And you know, the offensive line, we've been talking about it for Elsinore. There are a bunch of seniors who understand the system. They've played the system since their freshman year. You know, all new guys except for Mike Serrano on the offensive line. And that was the unit that Opie Vaipulu really felt had to gel. 1st and 10 from the 27 for North. Shannon, here comes the rush. Shannon stepping up, and Costa's got a hold of him, and down he'll go. Defense dialing it up. They'll mark him back to the 37-yard line, so call it a 10-yard loss for Shannon on the play. A couple of flags also. We'll sort those out as well.
There's a hold, too.
C.B. Brown. So yeah, I'm guessing that Elsinore would decline.
CB, a heck of a golfer, by the way.
So yeah, they'll decline the penalty. Kalua Costa back there with Olmos, and then Garcia comes in. Under 7 minutes to play third quarter. 28-21 Elsinore. It's been a good one. Thanks for joining us on Riverside TV. 2nd down. Shannon. He'll throw to Branch. 8th reception for Branch, but 2 Tigers just waiting there for him. Line judge will mark to the 35-yard line. So 2 yards on the completion for Shannon.
And Shannon is running all over the place. This defensive line getting inside, putting a lot of pressure on Shannon to make some difficult decisions here.
And Garcia, Costa, Harrell, and Sanzatera not even playing, so it's Guillen playing, Nathan Guillen. They're missing one of their starters on the offensive line. But, Coach Kirschman was telling me, they were missing Olmus, one of the linebackers, for a little bit. So Olmus and Robinson, man, those two cover a lot of ground. And a couple, Robinson and Olmus, they're both playing a little offense as well. That 4-2-5 nickel concept on the coverage. 3rd and 13 from the 31. Stepping up is Shannon. And down he goes. Well, not really. Garcia, though, stands him up. It'll be a loss. They'll mark the loss back to the 37-yard line.
Right now, Elsinore is owning the offensive line of John W. North.
So a 6-yard loss on that play. So 2 sacks in this series, Jeff, for 16 yards in losses. And here comes the punt team. This is Fernando Zavala. And he'll try to pin Elsinore deep. And we look at the play. Joey Garcia getting the sack. Can they try some trickery here? Anthony Zavala, the up back. No, they'll send it back to Fernando. And he'll try to pooch it to the right corner, and a good bounce for North. It'll bounce out of bounds right about the 10-yard line. We'll call it the 12. So a 25-yard kick, no return, and Elsinore starts from the 12-yard line. 28-21, Tigers leading here. And Tigers kind of dominated the first quarter, Jeff. North roared back in the second quarter. They're starting strong here in the third, meaning Elsinore.
We talked to the Elsinore coach before the game, and he did mention to us, I go, hey, the guys know this is a big game. He goes, we didn't want to over speak and talk about it too much, but you can tell both these teams know what's at stake.
First down, Elsinore. Robbie Whitlock, their senior leader, their quarterback, calling out signals. He'll toss to Santoyo running right, and Santoyo bottled up, but second effort rides up over close to the 20-yard line. Kalos Granger in there on the tackle. So about 5 yards on the play, 2nd and 5. Good pickup on first down. So already 40 yards in the second half for Santoya. He had 36 all in the first half. Has 2 touchdowns on the evening. His team up 28-21. 2nd and 5. Up the middle. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Running the ball for Elsinore is Jaden Evans. We've seen him on defense today. 3rd down coming up.
This is a big 3rd down here. If they can get this first, they'll be able to run a little bit more clock. If not, North is going to have themselves in pretty good position here.
The chess match, as we have here, between Opi Vaipulu, who's running the defense for the Huskies, and Randy Kirschman running the offense for Elsinore. 3rd down and 3. Little confusion in the backfield, and how do you do? Breaking through is the senior defensive end, Andrew Mosqueda. We haven't called his name a whole lot. A big TFL there on 3rd down. Loss back to the 15.
Yeah, there's a mix-up there on the handoff, but Husky right there.
A big stop for the defense of the Huskies. And, I was talking with Randy Kirschman, who, he was an assistant on Tony Peralta's staff for 15 years. Punt coming up from Stankovic. Puts his right foot into it, calling for the fair catch is Boucher. And to the 36-yard line. So a 21-yard kick, no return. Short field for J-Dub. And the pressure that Shannon has been feeling. Shannon has thrown well today, saying he's 13 of 15. But what pressure? There's Costa with a sack.
I think everybody on that line has had a piece of
Garcia
Mr. Shannon today.
Garcia kind of breaking through. Now here's Costa again. He funnels him to Garcia, who makes the play. And then here's another play, another pressure. This is Evans kind of boxing him. 1st and 10, line is the 37 for J-Dub. Granger comes in at fullback. So Branch split out to the near side. Boucher split out to the far side. And they're going to go for it. And again, we saw all the pressure. There's more pressure, but Cameron Shannon buying time with his feet. This time he'll pump out of bounds. Santoyo gives him a little brotherly shove out of bounds right around the marker. I give him about 8 yards on the play. Second down coming up.
Shannon almost got bit again.
But, I mean, we did see, it's been great pressure coming up for Elsinore, but Shannon has done a good job with his feet getting away, eluding. Right there, Garcia coming down trying to bring him down, and he gets away from it.
He is by far the most athletic quarterback we have here in the city of Riverside, hands down.
2nd and 1, so they give him 9 yards to the 28-yard line. North down a score. Shannon, Hogue. Hogue got some space, cuts to the second level. He slips the posse and tackled inside the 10. Making the tackle is Caden Maxfield at about the 6-yard line. 22 more yards for Bronson Hogue.
We might have to play some extra minutes in this game here. It's a great one.
Be like that Arizona USC game with Noah Fifita. Look at Hogue just finding some space right up the middle, running behind big Jacob Ariano, the center, and great play by Maxfield there, who's been all over the field for Elsinore. 1st and goal, line is the 6.
Maxfield tried to rake that ball out of his hands. Strong play there.
Now they've brought in Mosqueda as the up back to pick up pressure, throw to the outside, and just out of the reach of Branch. Coverage for Elsinore, David Ibibose Moses. Branch today, 8 catches, 139 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
And this ball just a little bit too low, I think, for Branch.
Pressure coming. He had to get rid of it. He saw he had one-on-one.
He threw to the inside rather than the outside, and that's just great pressure from Elsinore.
At the end of the first half, Elsinore was really good down here in the red zone. On the defensive side. 2nd and goal from the 6. Mosqueda shuttles into motion. And Hogue goes down. He's going to lose a yard. Santoyo with the tackle there. You got an update, Jeff?
Yeah, 42-6. Hillcrest taking care of La Sierra. La Sierra struggling a bit here in the River Valley League.
I just think it's Hillcrest, man. They figured it out. They lost all those close games early, and they don't want to leave anything to chance.
Well, I heard their receiver might be coming back in the next week.
Julian Sandoval.
Sandoval should be back next week.
3rd and goal from the 7. Let's see what Shannon can do here. Boucher and Branch to the near side. Shannon looking that way. Touchdown. 4th trip to pay dirt for Carson Branch. Huskies to within a PAT.
Branch has been unstoppable. One-on-one coverage, he is tough. He slanted in, got in front of the defender. Smart move, great pass, great play.
9 catches for Branch for 146 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the PAT blocked. Santoyo comes through. Huge play on special teams. We've been talking all night about the big returns on special teams. How about Julian Santoyo, the senior? Playoff implications on the line. Blocks the PAT.
That could be, you look back, I know we have a whole other quarter left to play here, but that could be the play of the ball game right there. Like you said, and we've stressed all game, special teams has really came ready.
And there you go. He just burst through the line. I don't know if there's anything that they could have done. Now remember, Alana Vaipulu, who's the normal place kicker on PATs, unavailable tonight because of an injury she sustained playing flag football earlier this week. And so Preston the duty was Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez, who's been pretty good. But that time Santoyo got the best of him. Big play for the Tigers. And here comes the kickoff. Irwin Over the 20, trying to angle to the outside. Slides back up inside, dives over the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Down covering the kick, Leviticus Mitchell, along with Ricky Salonga. Irvin just cutting it back inside, and instead, that was Alfonso Vallejo, 25, not 26, along with Mitchell. So to the 31-yard line.
Still another good run on special teams.
Under a minute to play, third quarter. Robbie Whitlock at the controls. Fling it to the outside, complete to Irvin. Irvin, we know how dangerous he is, makes a move. But he gets stood up right there. They'll give it to him. They'll give him the 41. A flag comes in late. So about a 10-yard pickup on the play, but let's see what the flag is about first. And if you're Elsinore now, you're just getting the ball in the hands of those playmakers. Let's see what C.B. Brown has to say, your boy.
And I really do think that this ball might have been tipped. Oh, there's a personal foul. Face mask. Ooh, that's a big one.
First penalty of the second half, and it's a big one on J.W. North.
I thought that ball was tipped. No, it's just a good throw there.
So 10-yard pickup, and they'll tack on 15.
There's a big face mask right there. Good call.
So Whitlock now 5 of 8 through the air, 56 yards. Irvin oh so dangerous in the open field. Ball to the 39-yard line. Santoyo right up the middle. Squirts forward to about the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the play. And Santoyo has definitely found his rhythm, as has the offensive line for Elsinore, running behind big Anthony Hebert, the center. Watch Hebert just shove out here. Opens up so much room, and he's tied up one-on-one with Deshaun Jefferson, who takes up a lot of space at that defensive tackle position for North. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. So 28-27, Elsinore up by 1, and they're driving here as we start the fourth quarter. I want to tell you a story. There's Randy Kirschman, the head coach there, the headset on, he's grabbing his center there, Anthony Hebert. So he told me a great story. So working for Tony Peralta, he was also the freshman coach. And he said this group of freshmen, that was that season they played in the spring during the pandemic, their first game was against J.W. North. So the theme all week for them, for those freshmen who are now seniors, is, hey, this is full circle, guys. This is full circle. And I remember we were down on the field talking to Coach Kirschman, and he was talking about being a Paloma Valley player playing against North when they played over at RCC.
His very last game, he said, in high school was against J.W. North. I do like, though, that they kept it in-house. A lot of high schools, once a longtime coach leaves the program or retires, they usually try to bring in a name. I like that they kept the continuity.
2nd and 2 from the 31. Here's the give to Maxfield, and Afungia takes him down, but I think he's very close to the first down. They're going to move it up. Yeah, they'll give him the first down. I was talking, so Coach is a little all about Eve, right? So Coach Kirschman now, he also has taken over Tony Peralta's classroom.
Wow.
So it was a classroom that Coach Peralta had since he started there, and now they're both science teachers. So Randy Kirschman is now teaching in the same room that Coach Peralta. And I guess Coach Peralta still, he may be here tonight. He comes out to all the games.
Peralta's a great guy. We've had him on the Inland Sports Show many times, and just one of those guys. He's engaging and just a wonderful guy. Funny, too.
From the 29, 1st and 10. Santoyo running left. Gets past Avatongo. He's to the open field. Last line of defense is Boucher, and he gets in. Touchdown, Elsinore. 29-yard touchdown run, and the senior, Julian Santoyo, his third trip to pay dirt.
Boy, Santoyo has been magnificent in this ball game. Scores and then just goes out and says, I'm going to play receiver now. Up. Big. I was thinking maybe he'd go for 2, but no.
Well, you got a great kicker. You got Kalui Costa. Brazilian soccer player, martial arts guy. In fact, his family runs a Brazilian jiu-jitsu dojo, or ran a dojo at one point.
So he's the guy you don't want to mess with either. It's like the Hoist Gracies.
But I mean, I just think it's the training, right? Here's the move. He breaks the tackle, and then he's just gone. Dylan Boucher can't quite get the angle, and great balance there by Santoyo, kind of doing the tiptoe down the line. What do they call that? The tightrope walk down the sideline there. Oh, hey, this has been a very well-played football game.
Fun to watch.
And I have a feeling this is one of those games, maybe the last team with the ball might be that might be how it gets decided. 35-27. Elsinore, though, with the edge because of the blocked PAT.
Exactly.
The North defense, a couple of times in the game, though, has come up with the big stop. Not in this half, though. They've scored. Elsinore has scored in 2 of the 3 possessions they have had. So Costa swings the left leg, booms it deep. Here's Boucher from the 3. Dylan Boucher angling to the right side. Leverett there trying to slow him down. Now he'll reverse field. Will Boucher, he'll go back, and a streak of Tigers there. We'll see where they mark him.
Face mask.
On Elsinore, so that'll help the cause of the Huskies. Because Boucher was kind of in no man's land there, Jeff.
Yeah, he was stuck dead to rights. And that's a 15-yarder.
So they mark him to the 4-yard line. So Leverett comes up and tries to make the hit. He breaks the tackle, but he sees the Tigers are laying in wait, and then he circles back, and there's the face mask. So they'll mark it up to the 20-yard line. 15-yard mark off first. So after all that, it's still 1st and 10 from the 20. And here comes Cam Shannon. Boucher and Branch split out to the near side. The give to Hogan. He's got a wide open hole to run through. Nice move. Puts the shoulder down. 1st down over the 30 to about the 32. Making the tackle on the play for Elsinore, Jaden Evans. So Hogue now with 79 yards on 12 carries. Clock moving. 8-point lead for Elsinore. Boucher and Branch now to the far side. First down. Here's Branch. Catch number 10. Branch. They'll say he got up to the 34-yard line, so 3 yards on the completion.
Branch and Shannon are doing their part.
10th catch for Carson Branch. He has 149 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Not a bad night.
Good day at the office.
Did you see the guy at Stanford had 300 yards in the second half receiving?
Yeah, how about that, dude? That was a wild game. 2nd and 7 from the 34. Boucher split out to the near side. Branch split to the far side. Shannon changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Looking for Branch, incomplete, one-on-one coverage. Well, what else can Andrew Irvin do, right? He can cover Carson Branch. 3rd and 7. It's like Snoopy versus the Red Baron, right? You put your best pilots up against each other. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, you say that now and kids go, what's a Snoopy?
Yeah. That's kind of sad. Peanuts, Charlie Brown, Snoopy. Go on YouTube and type in Snoopy versus the Red Baron. Great song. 3rd and 7. It's a Christmas song. Shannon RPO, and he'll be taken down by Garcia. 3-yard play. Joey Garcia with the tackle. 4th down. And here's the punt team coming out. Fernando Zavala is Opie Vaipulu. I mean, you pretty much have to kick here, but his defense has come up with a couple of big stops. They will need one here, Jeff. Fernando Zavala, the senior, will punt it away. Under 9 minutes to play in this ball game. Playoff implications very heavy here for both teams. Here's the kick by Zavala. It'll bounce and be down at about the 26-yard line. So a 37-yard kick, no return, and that's where Elsinore will start it. Now, to be fair, Elsinore has been successful on the short field, and the first time they were able to do so was because of North mistakes, but they've been able to do that because the talents of Andrew Irvin on the kickoff returns.
Yeah, Irvin has been fun. I mean, just watching the entire special teams all night long for Elsinore. They haven't made many mistakes at all, if I can think of any.
First and 10 from the 26. Tigers trying to put a little space between them and the Huskies. One-score game right now, and here's Santoyo. He's been carrying this team in the second half and gets up to about the 30-yard line. Tackle for North by Angel Hernandez. So 4 yards on the play brings up second down.
They're going to take this play clock down almost every single play here.
So Santoya, unofficially, I have him 19 carries, 112 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not a bad day at the office for the senior.
All I want to know is Hebert. Look at Hebert's hair. Looks very well conditioned.
Wait,
I wouldn't
Pantene?
Pantene.
What do you think?
I wouldn't wear my hair like that. I'd be pulling everybody's hair if they wore it like that and I played.
2nd and 6, Santoyo trying to duck inside, and he'll get a couple of more yards, taken down by Afungia. Up to the 34-yard line, so 3rd and 2 coming up.
Did you ever have long hair, Gazal?
You know, I had the twice. You know, I had the when you were kids in the 90s, the Kurt Cobain hair, right? It wasn't like long, but it was kind of long. And then, like up until like my mid-30s, I could grow it out pretty nicely, but not super. I never had the.
Did you ever have a mullet?
No, I would never have it long enough to where it would come out of the helmet. I'll tell you that. 3rd and 2. Maxfield has the first down. Up to about the 38-yard line. 4 more yards. 4 carries for Maxfield, 21 yards. He also has the 40-yard touchdown reception. Caden Maxfield, he and Julian Santoyo grew up playing junior football together. Best friends since youth football. Maxfield, one of the leaders for the Tigers here as they try to put themselves in pole position for that 3rd place AQ spot in the Ivy League. It's running that left side, leading the charge. Adrian Espinoza, the guard pulling. He's the right guard, but pulling on the left side. 1st and 10 from the 39. Santoyo again puts his foot in the ground and gets up to about the 40-yard line. Fernando Zavala in on the hit for the Huskies.
Neither team has called a timeout here in the second half.
Yeah, if you're Elsinore, you're just going to run clock here. North, you're looking for the stop or the turnover more ideally. But I think right now, Elsinore, they're just going to lock into that wing T. They're going to lock into that run game. Marcus Rupp split out to the far side. Irvin in the far slot. Evans up the middle. A second effort gets up to about the 48-yard line, so very close to. He needed to get the 49 for the first down. 7-yard pickup on the play. Jaden Evans. So again, fourth quarter, so they're going to run guys in and out. Both squads are. So 3rd and short, here comes Deshaun Jefferson. Jefferson started the year as the starter at center, but a couple of adjustments for the Huskies, and now he's one of the defensive tackles. So they flipped him to defense, Jacob Ariana, who'd been playing mostly defense, he's now the starting center on the offensive side, 3rd and 1. Big play coming up. Max Field, he's got it. Max Field to midfield.
That's a huge first down here. They're going to spot this ball, and it's going to start again here. See if North's going to have to call a timeout pretty soon.
So under 5 minutes to play in regulation here. 35-27, Elsinore on top. And complicated matters, the blocked PAT by Santoyo. So he's got 3 touchdowns in the blocked PAT. From the 49 of North. Whitlock looking deep. Got a man. Irvin reels it in at about the 22-yard line. 27-yard pickup, and talk about picking your spots.
And if you're Elsinore, if you can sit on this ball and get it within field goal range, that would almost assure that makes it a 2-score game. You just need to play smart and protect the football here with under 4:20 to go.
You said 4:20. 4:20. Defensively, if you're North now, though, you're looking obviously for the stop at the turnover. Somebody jump a route or somebody strip a ball. Probably not jumping a route. I don't think we'll see much throwing. Under 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Santoyo takes it to the left side. Down inside the 20, about 5 more yards on the play. Mentioned he's well over 100 yards now, 22 carries, 3 touchdowns, and made the big play on the defensive side on the PAT. And just little things. We got the injury on the field, hopefully not too serious, but you don't have Alana Vaipulu, and I'm not blaming it on the kicker, but there's it's the reps.
Rhythm.
It's the reps, right? It's the reps and the rhythm, and you're not used to doing the stuff. And and listen, obviously with that thing, I think maybe it was just Julian Santoyo made a play. But
we saw it. I mean, he just came out of nowhere.
The margin of error. Somebody put this out, Aaron Rodgers, right? Is that in the draft this year, the Patriots traded up to draft the tackle that the Jets wanted in the draft. And the left tackle that played was a guy that maybe wouldn't have been re-signed, and that's why Aaron Rodgers tore his ACL. There's so many things you can talk about. Looks like that's Buddy Amasquita who's down. Yeah, he stepped up because Jordan Nance wasn't available today. And we mentioned, the injury bug has really hit North heavily, particularly on the defensive side. They've had guys in, they've had guys out. And the advantage is Yobi Vaipulu said, well, we didn't like it, obviously, because we're playing tough teams, but then there are other guys that were able to get reps. And Buddy Mosquito is one of those guys who actually stepped up and played pretty well on the defensive side because of the absence of a couple of players for North. They haven't had Jaden Pitts since about week 4. And then Austin Dixon, who was a starter for them, has also been out. So other players have been getting opportunities. Second down coming up. So if you're the Tigers, you're going to let the clock run as long as you can. 3 timeouts available for North. From the 17.
I imagine if they don't get a first down here, North's going to call a timeout.
Santoyo cutting back inside. He's got the first down inside the 5. First and goal for the Tigers. Kalos Granger on the tackle. 13 more yards for Santoyo.
Could he get a hat trick? Isn't that 4?
He's already got the hat trick.
He's already got that. Is this be 5?
It'll be 4. He's already got 3.
He's got 3. Okay.
Branch has 4.
That's right. Between the two of them, got a lot of touchdowns. 7.
125 yards on 23 carries for Santoyo to go with the 3 touchdowns. First and goal, Elsinore from the 4. And this could be the coup de grace for the Tigers. Clock winding down. Here's Irvin in motion. give to Irvin. He's going to try to turn the corner, and he does. Touchdown, Tigers. 4-yard touchdown run for Andrew Irvin, and how masterful has he been. 51-yard touchdown run earlier and a couple of big kick returns. His second trip to pay dirt, and it's now a 2-score game.
Boy, he has great breakaway speed. He gets on the outside, and he's an illusion of quickness.
And Elsinore went in and made some adjustments at the half, and they really focused on that running game, Jeff, because it's really been huge here in the second half. Costa puts it through, and it's 42-27 with 2:14 to play for J-Dub. Here's the big play to Irvin that kind of stretched the field. He has two catches for 37 yards and then 3 carries for 58 yards and 2 touchdowns. Santoyo doing most of the work, 125 yards for him, and then Irvin will take it the rest of the way, and this could be the coup de grace for the Huskies.
I'll tell you what, they've played some great football, smart football. We talked about it. Disciplined football. They did all of the things that they were supposed to do to win this ball game. We do have an updated score in the River Valley League as Hillcrest takes care of La Sierra 49-6.
Travis Carter's team on a roll. They put up 41 last week on Patriot, and now 49. They're hitting their stride just as they need to. And they wrap up with Arlington next week. And Arlington, man, Ramona put a hurting on them. From the 5-yard line. Here's Boucher. Up to about the 28, 23 yards, 2:06 to play. So if you're North, you need a score here and you need it quick.
You got it. Yeah, exactly. It's got to be a home run ball here.
What does Kevin Kiker have dialed up here? Does he have a play that he can get down the field? And that's what Elsinore is going to be expecting. But you give credit to Elsinore. What happened was the second part of that first half, North really dominated them.
They did.
And Randy Kirschman got him, and then you look at Kevin Kiker, the offensive coordinator, got him in the locker room and said, hey, let's get out there. And they came out strong in the second half, and more importantly, they finished. 2 touchdowns here in the fourth quarter, and their defense is held up against North. 1st and 10 from the 28. And Randy Kirschman, we talked about talking up to his team about it being full circle. Shannon back to throw. Here's the pressure. Shannon just throwing it away. He'll burn the down. He won't. Intercepted. Guess who? Julian Santoyo.
And he was inbounds. What a great play. And you watch it. If we can get the replay, he's watching his feet before that ball is... Because like we said, that was kind of a lollipop. Thought it was going to go out of bounds.
And I talked to Randy Kirschman, and I asked him, tell me about Julian Santoyo. And he said 2 things to me. He said, Julian is a complete football player, and he's a guy that plays 1,000 times above, what he looks like, 1,000 times above his side. And, man, you got to just burn it. It just shows you the attention to detail. Yeah, and he made sure his feet were in. Wow. Tough way to go down if you're North, because how good Shannon has been all year. Maxfield is going to try to burn clock here on the ground. And I'm guessing the Huskies will start taking their timeouts. But getting back to the theme, the theme for Coach Kirschman and for the Tigers was full circle. All you freshmen who started that pandemic spring year against John W. North, well, that's how we're going to try to finish it out, and let's finish it and go to the end. They have Temescal Canyon next week. So I guess North's not going to call timeout. 42-27, Elsinore with a 2-score lead, and it's interesting. The missed PAT kind of took the air out of the sails for the Huskies, it seems like. And now victory formation for the Tigers. So the kneel down from Whitlock, and you got to tip your cap to Elsinore. You got to give them credit tonight. So Elsinore now would be 2-2, but they'd have the tiebreaker over North And basically, if they can beat Temescal next week, finishing 3-2, they would have the outright third place AQ out of the Ivy League.
Man, what a big win for Elsinore. They came in prepared. You could tell they were focused. They made the least amount of mistakes, and that's really how they were able to get this victory.
And that'll be the final play of this one. Congratulations to the Elsinore Tigers. They get the win. They go to 2-2 in Ivy League play. North falls to 1-3. Santoyo and Zavala there acknowledging each other at the end of this one. 42-27, and really, to give credit to the Tigers, they took control in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they just played smart football. Like I said, they made the least amount of mistakes. Their special teams was great. Santoya was phenomenal. They just played, I think, the perfect ball game for the perfect time of the year.
You know, we were talking to Chris Fowler last week, who's the head coach at Patriot, and he talked about the importance, you know, when you're in league play late, about finishing. And Hillcrest finished last week, and they were able to ride the momentum into this week. And what Elsinore did today, and I thought North put up a great battle, but in the fourth quarter, Elsinore really took control. They kind of exerted their will on the Huskies, and they finished strong at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they did things that we didn't think they would do. They threw the football. They made a couple little plays. They ran that post pattern wide open for the touchdown. Just a phenomenal game plan by the entire Elsinore coaching staff, and the players did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, Randy Kirschman, the first-year head coach at Elsinore, taking over from Tony Peralta, who held the top spot for 22 years, getting a big win here in his first year. So his Tigers now 4-5 overall, 2-2 in the Ivy League, while John W. North falls to 2-7 overall and 1-3 in the Ivy League standing. So they could still get in. Going to be a little bit tough. They obviously have to win next week against Heritage and see how everything else plays out. You never know. Maybe Temescal could beat Elsinore. You don't know about that. But the difficult part now is Elsinore would have a tiebreaker over John W. North.
Yes, they would. And I'll tell you what, this is kind of nice. You're watching the Elsinore players. Coach Peralta did this when he was at Elsinore every game. They would go over and they'd thank the fans. I think that is really, really cool.
We have an opportunity. We will talk with Randy Kirschman, who is the head coach of Elsinore, on the win 42-27. And, Coach, thanks for joining us. First of all, congratulations on the win. Explain to me, when we talked earlier this week, you said, hey, full circle. That was the message all week to this team, because this group of freshmen who you coached started their careers against John W. North. Tell me about the whole full circle.
Yeah, it was a real special week. Going back to their first game on a Saturday morning during the spring of the pandemic. And, you know, those guys got after us a little bit there, but we just wanted to emphasize, you know, full circle, meaning just showing everything, all the growth we've made, whether that's socially, emotionally, and physically. And so we wanted to focus on that instead of focus on the stakes of the game.
Now, Coach, before the game, you and I talked, and you said, hey, I want to know what your mindset of your players were. You said they didn't want to get them too high, get them too going, but they seemed very well prepared. Your special teams came through clutch tonight, but very few mistakes by this team.
Hey, be careful. I think you're going to get attacked by a Gatorade.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah. Well, let's make sure we save the equipment. But yeah, you know, it was a great job by my players to really, again, not let the moment be too big for them. They focused up and they prepared their butts off, and they've weathered a storm for a couple weeks. So I'm just really proud of these players and coaches.
When we talked, Coach, you told me Julian Santoyo, your words, he is a complete football player. Expound on that a little bit, his performance tonight.
Man, he's just a heart and soul guy, man. Number 3, he is an absolute dog, just pound for pound. I'm one of the toughest kids and just one of the most loving kids I know. And so I knew he'd rise up here. You know, I challenged them on the last series there to bring me the ball so we can get into victory. And, of course, he was the guy. I'm not surprised.
And the last thing, Coach, before I let you go, what's with all the throwing all of a sudden? You're supposed to be running the wing tee. I'm reading up on Tubby Raymond, and you're filling the air with footballs.
Yeah. You know, we're evolving, adapting, and overcoming, like we talked about there. So yeah, definitely I'm proud of these guys for working their butts off and getting good at what we're doing here.
Well, new coach, who dis? Randy Kirschman with a big win tonight in the Ivy League. Congratulations, coach. Go celebrate with your team.
Hey, thanks, guys.
That's Randy Kirschman, the first-year head coach at Elsinore, and now he gets the Gatorade shower. Oh, my. Hey, I warned him, man. I warned him.
Yes, you did.
But a bunch of happy Tigers there. Any final thoughts, Jeff Gorham?
No, just, if you can say this, it was a fun football game. You could tell the fun by watching those players at the end of the game here, how much they enjoy and love their coach, their teammates. Just a great, fun game. And North just came up on the wrong side of it.
Before we go, what your comments on North? What do you do now if you're the Huskies?
They just didn't have any rhythm tonight. They had spurts, but they just didn't play that complete ball game to where you can win these sorts of games. So.
What a great performance. Cam Shannon and Carson Brandt specifically. Brandt's 10 catches, 149 yards, 4 touchdowns, and Shannon had a great game where I believe he completed, looks like, 15 of 18 today. But the pressure was big also on the defensive side from Elsinore.
Yeah, and they really, really made Shannon run all over the field. Shannon had to make decisions on the fly. Did a great job, but he was really on his heels all night.
Final score tonight, 42-27. Can you believe week 9, Jeff?
It's crazy.
It's week 9. One more week, and then we got the playoffs going on. Make sure you stay tuned, or not stay tuned. Make sure you come back to us for the Friday night pep rally with Pep Fernandez. I'll get you all the scores, all the highlights. Until then, for my partner, Jeff Gorham, for our entire award-winning Riverside TV crew, my name is Ghazal Hassan. The final score tonight, Elsinore 42, North 27. We'll talk to you next week. So long, everybody.